Chesney. I'm reporting for you live with Environmental Worldviews. So I got Madison Chesney here. This is my sister. We're just going to break it down a little bit. So the three environmental worldviews is planetary management, which basically focuses its attention on humans' wants and needs. Stewardship aims at the benefit of humans, organisms, and ecosystems of the Earth. In other words, planetary management pretty much considers humans as the most important species in the Earth, while stewardship and environmental wisdom considers all species to be equal. So if I were to ask you, what category would you see yourself in, what would you tell me?
Well, I would put myself under environmental wisdom.
And why is that?
Because for one, I'm vegan,
Okay.
to help the environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two, I recycle a lot, and I know that
it has a
lot
huge
of
deal
people
with
don't.
environmental wisdom.
And I reuse products that have already been used.
Like, can you elaborate on that? Like, what would you reuse?
So, like the Chinese, like when you order Chinese and you get like those plastic containers, you could keep that to keep other food or other products inside of it.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds good. So I would definitely put that under the category of environmental wisdom. Awesome. It's very good talking to you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so we have another episode of Environmental Worldviews. So for my second interview, I have my father here, Robert Chesney. So just a little bit of a rundown. I'm going to explain the three environmental worldviews for you real quick. So planetary management basically focuses on the human's wants and needs. Stewardship basically aims at the benefit of humans.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, in other words, planetary management considers humans the most important species in the world. And stewardship and environmental wisdom considers all the species to pretty much be equal. So if I were to ask you what category you fell under, what would you tell me?
Planetary management.
And you say planetary management, so can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I mean, I just, I don't know, I like to eat the meats.
And when you say you like to eat the meats, we've talked a lot about, seeing I'm a vegan. A lot of people in the family are vegan. I tried to switch you over and, there's just no budget for you, huh?
No, I'm 54 years old. I've been growing up on meats and chicken and Thanksgiving, having a turkey and like my cheeses and my milk. And, for me, I tried, but my taste buds are just used to something for the years I've been alive right now. And, I'll always try something once. If I don't like it, I can't really, can't do it.
I completely understand that. And, turning vegan and completely switching your appetite into a plant-based diet would benefit the ecosystem a lot, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
Benefit your body, benefit, a lot of things cater to that. But another thing, so you work in the union, right? So what mainly do you put down for your floors?
I do a lot of wood floors. I work in New York City for 34 years as a union carpenter.
Okay, so now when you say you put down wood floors, for the most part, what are you doing with that wood? You're chopping it up, you're running it through jigsaws and table saws and all that other stuff. Where do you think all that wood's coming from?
Yeah, it's coming from maple trees and oak trees and anything through the forest. What they do is they go through the mills, and then the mills, they chop it up and they bring it towards the job site, and then we put it on the floor. I mean, we do use jigsaws and stuff just to cut little pieces to do a regular 12 by 12 room, and so we're taking a tree and we're taking that tree and we're putting it on the floor where people can walk, and it looks beautiful.
Okay, so basically, what that's doing is basically you're cutting down all these trees, these beautiful living trees, to manufacture your own wood and use the material for personal use.
Yes, that's what all the big companies are doing now. Wood floors are a big call right now. The same thing as like a baseball player uses a wooden bat. All comes from a tree, so it's it's a good thing. A tree comes down and it's in a person's hand when he's at bat, and then you want to walk on a beautiful wooden floor. That's where it's coming from. You're reusing it.
Touche, touche. And now you saying that, me being heavily involved in baseball, I think of, would a wood floor or a wooden baseball bat be more valuable than an animal's home?
I wouldn't say more valuable than an animal's home. Animals are going to find somewhere to roam no matter where they are in the United States or the world. Sure, there's different floors. There's parquet floors, there's VCT floors, there's a rug. But a wood floor lasts as long as, as long as an animal could just last in the woods for a long time.
Okay, that's reasonable. All right, and would you say for the most part you try to do your best to recycle?
I try to do my best to recycle. Be honest with you, I do live in a 4-family. I do see some people that don't do their best, and they just put cans with paper and garbage and all that. So, I do make a mistake, and I do the same thing. But as my father, he works for the sanitation department, he won't pick up that paper as long as there's a bottle in there. He wants all bottles, all cans in one can, and he wants garbage in another. So you got to take it from the old people. They do it right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is Ryan Chesney bringing to you the last and final episode of Environmental Worldviews. So as you can see, we have my mother, Jamie Chesney, on the other line. How you doing, Ma?
Hello.
All right. So let me just run down the environmental worldviews for you real quick. So we have planetary management, which focuses its attention on human needs and wants. We have environmental wisdom, which basically humans consider species in the same realm as them, so they all consider themselves equal to one another. And we have stewardship, that aim to the benefit of humans, organisms, and ecosystems of the earth. So, in other words, planetary management considers humans as the most important species on the earth. So if I were to ask you what category you would put yourself in, what category would that be?
For sure, environmental wisdom.
Environmental wisdom, awesome. I would consider myself environmental wisdom also, but can you elaborate on that?
Sure, well, for starters, I'm a vegan.
Okay.
And I think it all depends on the success, depends on the way we think and act. I recycle, which has a huge impact on the environment. And if everyone was together and do what we all should do, I think this world would be a better place.
Okay, awesome. And I know you being my mother, I obviously see your wardrobe. Can you elaborate a little bit on things that you do and do not wear, specifically catering to the environment?
Sure, I don't wear leather, and I don't wear, there's plastic things that I don't wear in terms of the plastic being put in the ocean. That's horrible, so I try and steer away from anything that's plastic. But I do my fair share on that part of it.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. So there you have it, folks. I mean, environmental wisdom, I would definitely put in that category. You do a beautiful thing for the environment, and hope you can keep it going.
Thank you.
All right, Ma. Hope to see you soon.
Okay, bye, baby. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.